Henry Steelheart came back to Mount Whaleback, looking like a ghost in armor. The gates opened for him, but there were no cheers. People peeked out from their windows, watching in silence as he walked in with worn-down guardians behind him. He didn't say a word. 1 week later, inside the palace, Henry stood before his commanders, Zuberi Ironsoul, Garin Stonefist, and the other leaders of the Steelbound Legion. He said, "We will go on the offensive." He called the beasts an abomination, something they couldn't ignore any longer. No more waiting. It was time to strike. Lismara, one of the generals, stepped forward, brow furrowed. She asked, "We still don't know the source of these creatures. What's the end of this war, Henry? What are we marching toward?" Henry didn't look at her. He just said, "We strike. That is all." He acted immediately. Henry ordered every able-bodied man and woman to prepare for war. Those who once dreamed of quiet lives in Whaleback were now drafted into service. Farmers, smiths, traders, even young kids, given weapons and training, becoming guardians or whatever else was needed. The forges roared around the clock, armor and weapons churned out non-stop. In months, the Legion grew to 5,000 trained guardians. Henry wanted 10,000, a wall of iron, to cleanse the land, but he would not wait. The crusade began. Henry's armies surged forward like a wave. War caravans thundered across the plains. The Pulverinius Bombardions shook the earth with their fire. The Trium Mortaricus burned the deserts, turning beast lairs into scorched graveyards. Every beast was killed where they stood. Dens burned. Breeding grounds erased. Henry split his forces into groups of 1,000, led by his finest, Lismara, Zuberi Ironsoul, Garin Stonefist, and more. He personally led 1,000, his massive sword cleaving through monsters with terrifying force. Lismara led from the front. Clad in guardian armor, she moved like a blade in motion, precise, unrelenting, silent. Where Henry brought fire and fury, she brought focus and control. Her unit became legend, cutting through beasts with surgical precision. Clean lines of scorched earth, shattered carcasses in their wake. Soldiers whispered she never raised her voice, not even in the chaos of slaughter. She pointed, and death followed. Henry fought like a man possessed. Even his oldest friends were unnerved by his rage. He laughed as he struck down monsters, driven by something deeper, something he never spoke of. Somewhere in his mind, he still hoped to find her, or at least learn what became of her. Battle after battle, the Legion marched through blood, but the beasts kept coming. For every lair destroyed, another surfaced, every scattered horde, followed by a new wave of nightmares rising from the deep. It felt endless, like the land itself was birthing terror with each passing season. And the crusade dragged on. Years passed. Victories meant nothing. Hope faded. Henry, once a builder of kingdoms, was now a man drowning in bitterness. In the end, he gained nothing. The beasts still roamed, the craters still smoked, the wilds still wild. Mount Whaleback stood, but its people were tired, drained, their dreams buried in ash and dust. Alone in the great hall, Henry sat, polishing his sword in silence, waiting for the next battle, still chasing a ghost he would never bring back. The Story Crucible. Mech Evil. Like, subscribe, and follow.